My name is Marissa Grace Diamore. I'm a part of the class of 2020 at Northside Christian School, and this is my story.
On September 11th, 2001, I found out from my doctor that I was pregnant. And this was the first point in my life where I really had to trust in what I believed. And I didn't know what the outcome was going to be, but I knew that God had a plan. I also come to understand that I might not like the plan He had. And you really didn't know, was today going to be the day that they tell you that's it? And I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know what does a 1 pound, 13 ounce baby look like. So when I saw her, it was very shocking. She had a breathing tube. She had monitors everywhere, just a lot of things hooked up to her. It was really overwhelming, trying to figure life out in the NICU. You're not allowed to touch her. If you try to touch her, it's too overwhelming for her, and it causes too much stress. You feel very detached. You reach your hands in through 2 little holes, just to even touch her toe. Just the sounds, the noises, 1 minute she's stable, the next minute she crashes. 10 minutes later, everything's fine. 2 minutes later, she crashes. So the nurses suggest, to get on a schedule, get back to, quote, normal life, as much of a normal life as you can get, but every day you leave without your baby. And we did that for days, weeks, months. So before that surgery, they were explaining to us that she would be blind or visually impaired, and we were devastated. I realized on that day that as bad as I thought it was to have a child that was blind or visually impaired, that I could deal with that. But I didn't think I could deal with not having my child. So for me, I felt like that was God's way of saying, He knew that I needed to go through that to be able to deal with her being blind and visually impaired. So it was a huge lesson for me to be grateful. And as bad as I thought it was, it could always be worse. And from that moment, again, it was validation that God was in it. I didn't like it. I didn't want it. I still struggle with trying to understand why God puts things in certain people's lives, but I have learned to be grateful. We are very proud of Marissa's willingness to put herself out there and to not be afraid to try things, even if she literally cannot see what's ahead of her. She really does walk by faith, not by sight, a lot of the time.
I'm not mad at God because, first of all, He loved me enough to die for me, and I love Him back because of that love. It's definitely hard, and I definitely have a lot of emotional breakdowns. Just the littlest things sometimes really get me, and I just start crying. I definitely believe that the Lord works all things for good, and that doesn't mean that my pain goes away, and that doesn't mean that I have to stop. That doesn't mean that the struggle stops. That just means that I have victory in it. Even something like shopping at the grocery store, that seems like a monumental deal to me, and whereas other people can just go in and go get their chicken nuggets and it's a good day. But to me, I can't read the aisle signs, and I can't see or tell what food I'm looking at when I walk down the aisle, so I'm like, what's this? So I can't read papers without a magnifier unless I hold it up close to my eyes and squint and strain. And so I use my iPad or phone to magnify things. And I have an app, and it's really amazing. It's called Seeing AI from Microsoft, and it will scan barcodes at the store.
Whole grain, real baked. Whole grain, cheddar baked with real cheese. Color, no artificial. Flavors or grain scourged from plants. Preservatives per serving. BL, bake, S.
It will read to me papers. It's amazing. As I've gotten older, I think I've gotten better and still continue to grow, and I'm always in the process of, learning how to deal with being partially blind, and but there are definitely a lot of victories that come out of that, and I just learning how to trust in the Lord and rely on Him. But something that I've learned, the Lord, He knows your pain, and He takes it upon Himself, not only on the cross because He was willing to die for you and even forsake His Father, so die spiritually, being separated from God, because that would make for our atoning sacrifice for our sins. But even in the present, He's with you in your suffering, and I just love how He's so personal and how He's so sympathetic and can empathize with all of your weaknesses, but He gives you the grace and the power to move on past them and to turn them into victories and things that are going to reflect His glory and further His kingdom.
You want people to feel sorry for you?
No, I want people to know how much the Lord loves them, honestly.
I want you to know you are the first thought. I want you to know the grace you're made of. I want you to feel that you're mine, dear.